Okay, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to get going. We got lots to cover today. Share my screen. All right, so November 2nd. So month one of quarter four is behind us, and wait till you see what we did. October is usually the beginning of a very bad quarter. Wait till you see what we did. Let's see, is that me talking the whole time? Joe, why don't you read quote number one?
Sure thing. Hold on. I got to make it a little bigger. Woo, there we go. Those who live in the past limit their future. Zig Ziglar.
There you go. Can't live in the past. Kat, what's number two?
If a woman or a man wants to make his or her dreams come true, he or she must first wake up.
Ooh, it's kind of simple,
There
right?
you go.
Chris, can you see number three?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. We're having some internet issues still in the office. So if I'm in and out, I apologize. Number three, if you waited until you're ready, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life.
Interesting. That's going to tie in with our little talk we're going to do this morning. Number four, Ashley.
The past is in your head, the future is in your hands.
Ooh,
Well, that's a good one.
Like it.
Puma, you want to do number five?
Sure. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will.
Aha. Enjoy the month of December. Quotes from Mike Ferry.
No, November, Craig.
Oh, yeah. November.
That's stressful.
I still
Don't do
write
that.
2020.
Don't do that to me yet.
All right, I'm going to go out of order for a little bit today. Seller's checklist. I'm going to talk to you guys about these things because they're important.
Mhm.
I'm talking to insurance people. My dad sent me a link yesterday to get my own flood quote from neptuneflood.com. So I went to neptuneflood.com and I filled out and I got a quote for my house of $572, which is a hell of a lot better than $10,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then I got a phone call from West Palm Beach and it was Alec. And I took his call. Well, he actually left a message saying, hey, you just asked for a quote. I can probably get it lower for you if you want to call me back. So I called him back and we chatted for a while and he's now my new best friend. So write down his name and his number, Alec, 561-356-8090. Because the concept here is as you go to get a listing, I think it's important that we put away the doubt of what insurance is going to cost.
Yeah.
And now that we found a reliable third-party company, I think that'll help us a lot. So the idea is you're going on a listing presentation, you're going to put your listing up on the MLS, attach an insurance quote for what the hazard insurance is going to be, attach an insurance quote for what the flood's going to be, have a copy of your current title policy, have a copy of your current survey, and put together the HOA minutes as part of your marketing package. Okay. Now that's important because we're going to go into something else right now called the Next Level Resource Center. It's going to show you the bulletproof listing process, which ties into this. And then I'm going to show you the pre-listing package that Angelique has put together for all of us that I think is going to be really cool for you to see. So, the bulletproof listing process. Am I doing this right? Yes. All right. So when you get to here, this is the Next Level Resource Center. Here's a class that Chris did on the bulletproof listing process. It goes through everything we talked about. Then here's an overview of the listing agreement. You click this, it's going to show you. And then all you do, line 13, put in this, line 14, do this. Boom, boom. Fill in the blank, really simple. Strategic farming using Remind. That's a class I think Otis did, right? Geo farming using RPR. These are all educational topics on the bulletproof listing system. Then you got the listing pre-qual script, training on that. These are the right, prospect, pre-qualify, preview, pricing, presentation, and positioning, right? And then here's the listing pre-qual script, which is a very important part of the presentation. And there's a sample spa. And then there's a video on pre-qualifying sellers. And so this is just for you to get really straightened up on the bulletproof listing process as you go through. All right. And then here's more on, this is all resources for you, right? Because we want you to win these listings that you're going on. And then the next thing is Moxie. So Angelique went into Moxie. If you go into Moxie Present, Moxie Impress, there'll be a template in there for sellers, pre-listing. And the first couple pages are, I didn't fill out because it's just me. And then you're going to get to all this stock stuff she's put in here. So a mission statement, you know, I was talking the other day. I had a concrete proposal. So the guy comes out with a little folder, nice folder. He's got stuff over here with his insurance calculations and all that type of stuff. Is my camera on?
Yes.
Okay. And there's got another folder over here with other stuff. So that's what this is designed to do, your pre-listing package. And you really should have a good one. And this is a lot of content. And the idea is put your marketing stuff on one side and your paperwork on the other side. And then you've got everything where you want it to be. So this is just content she's created, all branded to Century 21. You know, about the Beggins family, because you're selling not just yourself, you're selling Beggins Enterprises, you're selling Century 21, you're selling Realogy. And then I'm not going to go through all this with you now, but these are the facts and stats that make us look good, that is backed up by the listing presentation, which is coming up shortly. Nice little geographic map to show the pictures. Right, here's our listing presentation itself. So this is your whole pre-listing package in a box for you, ready to go. And all you do is customize the first slide sheet, set, and save it. How about a long discussion on single agency the seller could read about? And then it'll take lists of what they get and what they don't as a transaction broker versus a single agent. And then about the 11 questions, aren't those coming up? There you go, 11 questions to ask your realtor. Remember, the answers are on page 2, which is not in this presentation. Where would you find that? .loop. Okay. So then we talk about quality photographs. Look at Brian D's cool ass listing that sold. Right. So this is your pre-listing package already made for you. And at the end is all the paperwork. We want to give the seller a copy of the listing presentation, listing agreement, all that stuff, so they can read it ahead of time. And then I'm almost to the back where the paperwork comes in, and that's where you get your leave behind spa samples and all that type of stuff. Talk about Global Home USA. I'll talk about that in a minute when I get there. This is all the stuff for your pre-listing package in one place in MoxieWork. And then Jimmy reported yesterday that 73 of our agents have logged into MoxieWork and agreed to the terms of service. And those 73 people created 200 creations so far. What about the other 270 of you? Well, you haven't even tried it yet? Come on, guys, log in. This world's moving by. And then we got a flyer in there for Move Easy Century 21 Beggins Concierge Program, which is super cool. Okay, so remember, let's get serious about marketing the benefits of our houses. And if our houses don't have benefits and you find out the flood's going to be 10 grand a year, you're going to find out sooner or later. So let's find out now. Okay.
I want to add something about listings here, that people should really go online and order open house signs if they're going to do them, and market Century 21, and not just go to Home Depot and buy an open house sign.
I agree. The medium is the message. You put out,
you got to be consistent. You know, you're marketing a brand and yourself.
and you really should play your brand card.
Mhm.
Paying for it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Next, here you go. This was what I was waiting for. All right, for the month of October, of course, it's issues because we don't know the end of the month yet, totally yet, but we are down to 115 listings. We were up to 118. We're down to 115, so we're staying about stable. October, almost issues done. Listings 93, 42% have sold in the same month as listed. So that's that's decreasing from Warp Speed to Supersonic, right? That's still very fast to sell 42% of our listings within the month that they were taken. And so some of those were taken a couple days ago. So October sales, look at this, 223 sales for $95 million and 2.5 million in GCI. That's a strong open month for October. So that just kind of debunks what I was thinking about the beginning of the slowdown. October closings, a little slow on the closing side, but we have 61 that are still not reported in. It's like waiting for the election polls to close. because the first of the month was yesterday. So we'll get a bit of a report on that next week. But it's looking like another great month because if we take the pendings, add them to the close, it's really good. Tiffany, are you able to join us? Quick word from Paramount Title.
Talking to the mic.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Okay, so today we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna play a title game. I got 3 gift cards to give out, so we're gonna watch the chat, and if you're the first one to answer the question correctly in the chat, then you will be the winner, and I will deliver these gift cards to you guys as we can. So first question is an acronym. What does EOM stand for in title?
I know.
You're not allowed to answer.
Good job, Lauren.
Good. Yep. Good job, Lauren. End of month. Good job, guys. Okay. So Lauren, you get one. Okay. And then the next
Poor
question
John, he
is,
tried to type it right, but he just end SIF month.
what does a Florida Form 9 endorsement cover? Anyone?
Yeah, crickets.
Nope. I'll give you a hint. It's something we have to order if the seller does not have one to provide. Good job, John. You're the first one. Survey, it covers the survey. Florida Form 9 covers the survey. Good job. And then the last one is, who founded our company? And I'm talking about our overall company for the fan network, started Hillsborough Title. Who was that person that started Hillsborough Title? Nope. Yeah. Yes, technically, but what's her name? Jamie, good job. Miss Gail. Miss Gail started and founded our company. So good job, everybody. I'll get those gift cards out to you guys. And if you guys have any questions, give me a call.
Good job. That was fun. Somebody asked for the contact information for the flood people. Again, here it is. NeptuneFlood.com, Alec. And that's his email address. ACOO at rocketflood.com. Cool. All right, managers, we talked yesterday. Jeff and Mike did a neat class on Monday, talk about all the different things that you could do to promote yourself and your business. And we agreed that we were going to go around and each pick which one we would do if we were going to, start promoting ourselves and our business as marketers. So let's start with Joe, you're my top left, but you're muted.
There you go. Try to keep a little quiet here. So, years ago, I used to help with a food bank many, many years ago. And that seems to be a big issue right now. So I like to coordinate myself with a food bank and promote myself with that. And help, especially this time of year with what's needed. There's a lot of people in some need right now.
Oh, what a thoughtful thing to do. So, and I want to say it's thoughtful toward other people, not yourself, but you could benefit from it as well.
Correct.
Very cool. Miss Long.
Good morning. Good morning. Jeff was right on in his class yesterday. I couldn't say enough good about that. And community events is a big thing that you do, not only for promoting yourself, but getting involved with your community. Do something you care about in your own backyard. Let it be, let's say, get a 4-top table at the local boat show, the art festivals, Florida State Fairgrounds, bridal shows, hair shows, car shows, garden events, PTA fundraisers. And also connect with your estate planning attorneys on classes that they're teaching. Be part of that. Get your foot in the door with different attorneys around the area when they have classes, even if it's just HOA updates and rules like that, classes that they have. So many times these attorneys would love to have realtors in the room to be able to field questions, and you get your name out there. Think about getting involved.
Pat, you pick one thing that you would do to promote yourself.
So that's it. No, I'd do 50. There you go.
Energizer Bunny. There we go. So what was your one thing? Your top
Community
one?
events, community
Community
events.
events.
Jump in.
Ashley?
Okay, so we know I'm a little hyper focused on just a few things, not 50. So I would pick doing something that I've already kind of started doing with a few of my neighbors. In my neighborhood, there's even a pet neighborhood page, right? There's a lot of different pages that you can look up, and there's probably 50 of them. But I do have coffee with some of the other dog moms, and we let the dogs play, right? So you could kind of even translate that into a little bit bigger of a group, because I don't know how you guys are, but I know my neighbors for the most part is like Bobby's dad, right? Or Tony's mom. So that way we would get together and actually ask them what they're doing. You could also do a yappy hour if you preferred to do that after hours. And you could also tie that into a rescue charity work, right? There's a lot of homeless pets or pets in need. And then if you think about it, what was the percentage? It was a huge percentage of people that are purchasing homes because of their pet. Are they going to have, there's dog washing stations, which are really cool. Is it fenced? Do they have an older dog that needs to be on one floor? So there's a lot that you can kind of translate to that.
Wow, that was pretty passionate too, wasn't it?
I like my puppies.
I know you do, but it shows, right? Be your authentic self, right, Joe? All right, Chris, then Jimmy.
I would do something along the same lines as Joe Diener. So I would actually, there's a lot of elementary schools that have food pantries, and they give out food to kids on the weekends because it's probably their only meal that they're going to have over the weekend. The only free meal or the only meal they get during the week is sometimes the one they get at school. But those food pantries run out of food. So I would get flyers and I would get into the community, especially around these holidays, and deliver flyers to the community, asking them, telling them we're going to do a fill the truck or a food drive to try and fill the pantry for these schools to help them out. Because when they only get a little bit of food for a weekend, imagine being off on a holiday for 2 weeks over Christmas, and they only still get that one bag, maybe a little bit more food to last 2 weeks, but it really is only good for about 2 or 3 days. So if we can help fill that pantry to give food to kids that, especially in some of the areas where there's migrant workers, it's really going to help the community and help give people food that wouldn't necessarily have it and would be struggling over this long period of time. So I would do food drives and help fill the pantry. This it would be beneficial to business too, because now you're getting a school that has your business, our business operating with the school. There's a ton of teachers, there's a ton of parents, there's a ton of kids, there's a ton of people in the community that just want to help give and serve.
Nice.
And we're doing something like that anyways, aren't we?
Yeah, and we're actually doing that this holiday here in the office. So
Yeah. So what I would do is I would dress up. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't dress up. What I would do, and I actually have done this in my community, is help kind of facilitate a community market. So like a quarterly market where you bring in all the small business owners in the community, they get to set up a table, do whatever it is, and kind of just start with something like that. And, we were able to pull in food trucks because it started to get so big. We started to raise money to do tons of events for the kids to have a good time, and just continuing to not be the face of it, but help facilitate it. I know Mike talked a lot about that yesterday. It's not I'm trying to promote my business for this awesome kind of thing that we're doing for the community. It's just, how can I help facilitate? How can I help get the name of our community out there more and more people in to shop with the small business owners? And it's worked very, very well, even on a business standpoint, because I even got business from it. I wasn't even trying, and I just did.
Uma, what would your one thing be? Wiffle ball?
If I could get off mute, that'd be awesome. Yeah, no, I think, wiffle ball, obviously what we're doing with that is just one example. But I think for me, obviously I have 2 young kids, so that's where kind of it'd be path of least resistance, right? So for me, it's all about getting the kids together. My kids love to play with other kids in the neighborhood, but sometimes with them being little too, they're restricted on how far they can go. But if we can all set a time to meet up at the community park, now they get the kids from all around the neighborhood, not just the kids that they have immediate access to. And, this past weekend was proof that there's a lot of parents out there who just want their kids to get outside and play again. And so I think, you know, if you can be the organization of that and help facilitate, whether it's wiffle ball, whether it's kickball, whether it's just getting kids together and playing at the park, right? But being the resource that creates that experience is huge, and it's something that's free and easy to do. So that's definitely where, you know, I am going and where we should go.
Like it. Jeff Beggins.
I would just do everything I said yesterday. No, but really how it started was my neighborhood has a couple little pocket parks, just like little areas that have been kind of neglected. So it started by going to the city and saying, hey, what's up with these properties? Could I start a campaign to raise some money from local businesses and neighbors? I mean, I'd pitch in to put a little playground in. That's how all of this started. It's just a simple conversation. So look around your neighborhood and see what it's lacking. And I love Puma, the post you put out this morning is a perfect lead in. What do you wish your neighborhood had that it didn't? And then see if you could do that. Maybe it's a palm tree, maybe it's a landscaping, maybe it's an entry sign, maybe it's a cleanup, maybe it's dog poop pickup stations. Who knows what it is? But lead the charge that you care and you're interested in your community, and that will pay off dividends for you. So that's the short version of that answer.
I like it. Mr. Bass.
I'm already doing it. I'd coach youth sports. It's something that I already have in me, and it's just an easy way to connect with the community. Most families are buying houses, so it's good conversation topics. And if they trust you with their kid, they're going to trust you with their other investments as well.
Wow. Joe Puma brought up yesterday that I walk my dog every day. And what a bad opportunity, what a missed opportunity for me not to wear a shirt that says, I'm a realtor, how can I help you? Right? Because I do see the whole neighborhood all the time. I'm very well known because I walk my neighborhood every day, sometimes two or three times a day. So I would get some shirts made up and actually brand myself and walk around with a shirt on that says, I'm a realtor, how can I help you? And people would just start talking to me, right? Even though I'm standoffish and I don't do social. Good. All right, guys, I hope you get some ideas from this because that was really a good class I did yesterday. And I thought just be interesting to see what we do. And giving back to the community is huge. And will, you know, social responsible companies do better than non-socially responsible companies. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for that. Okay, so I got a hall pass yesterday because Dwayne Hughes sent me our home warranty purchase list. And I wrote him back and said, holy shit, we're going the wrong direction. And we spoke on the phone, which is much better than texting or emailing. And he says, Craig, don't feel bad. The whole world is down. And I thought about that for a minute and said, so you can see my box on the upper right-hand corner. That's how many Apollo Beach had 2 warranties sold last month. Brandon had 1. Roger Leyland from Indian Rocks had 1. And Sun City had 1 from Celeste. So we sold 5 warranties. Now we did 250 new contracts, but only 5 bought warranties. Now I get it. You can't ask a seller to pay, but you know, that's why that pre-listing package is important. You know, get your seller to offer they'll still sell their house for more money. You know, it's a $595 charge, get the buyer to up for the pre-inspection part. And it's a $500 expense to really market your house. If I were selling my house, I'd do it. So I just encourage you guys to talk about it. I don't expect to ask a seller to pay for it in this market, but I do expect you to tell a buyer that it's an option for them. And if they're not, hell, they're paying $10,000 over, full price anyway. What's an extra $600, $700 when their water heater is going to break? Okay. FAR 6 is now in .loop. So your new FAR 6 contracts are out there. So my warning to you is this: when you get an offer or you write an offer, make sure you look in the bottom left-hand corner and see which version of the contract you're using, right? Because there are some subtle differences. Somebody, Otis, Joe, Jeff, somebody tell me what the 3 main differences are in the new contract versus the old one.
The financing contingency has changed. The first one is if you check A, it says it's a cash only transaction versus it had a bunch of other language in there that they just basically crossed it out. And so it's just really simple. It's a cash transaction only.
Yep, it's 1, 2.
They've added a lot of included items in the lists along with, you know, I was gonna say, along with ceiling fans and range and all that, there's a lot of other things that they've added into that section.
The TV mounting brackets being a big one,
Correct.
and the hurricane supplies. Big one. What's the big one?
Appraisals.
Appraisals.
The appraisal is now
appraisal.
included in the financing contingency. The old contract said that even if you had loan approval and your appraisal came in after and it didn't meet the terms of the loan approval, you could cancel and get your money back. Now it says that you must have your appraisal completed within your financing contingency. It is now part of your total financing contingency.
So that's
So-
a big one. That's a big one.
So that means you really need to, back when I talk about partnering up with your loan officer, make sure you coordinate to get that appraisal ordered quickly. So it comes in by the appraisal, by the loan approval period. Because if not, if they don't give loan approval, what can the seller do after 3 days?
Cancel.
Cancel them. So if they can't give loan approval because they don't have an appraisal, then the seller can cancel them. It's a pretty big one there. The energy efficiency brochure is now in Dotloop as well. So I'm going to share some. I wasn't going to do this, but I will right now. Let's do this. All right, here's a very simple. A buyer did not make their loan approval on time. They sent a text saying, hey, we can't get our loan approval. I'm going to try to finance my house and pull some cash out of it to make the down payment. And we told him, well, sorry, you missed your loan approval period. You're going to forfeit your deposit. And then the buyer writes back this whole long thing, which is a bunch of crap. I was advised to provide you with the verbiage below. I'm sending this from my business email as our corporate counsel will be representing us. Representing you for what? You had a loan approval period. You didn't make it. You're done.
Yeah.
We were advised not to sign the document you sent over and to request that the deposit escrow funds be returned to the contracted buyers. Should it not be returned, we will continue to pursue financing for the property in question as planned. Well, you're going to be out of contract. My attorney is also requesting the contact information of the Century 21 counsel, your personal counsel, and the contact information for your client's counsel, as we will make a claim against all the parties individually to ensure a speedy resolution. What kind of claim are you going to make about anybody? You didn't do what the contract said. If we don't receive a corrected notice of cancellation, we will continue to pursue financing, but all further communication will be handled by attorney. Please consider this a legal demand for a response. We will allow 30 days for a response in accordance with the state of Florida statute. Our legal team is copied for litigation purposes. I don't know. Kathleen, do you want to comment on that?
Number one, their corporate attorney represents the corporation, not them individually. So I think they're a bit confused on roles there. Number two, they didn't do what they need to do in terms of the contract, as I'm understanding it. So number three, this is a whole lot of happy hogwash.
Yeah, it's bullshit baffles brains, right? But the more you stick and you know your stuff, the stronger you can be. That's a buyer using bullying techniques. And I've got another bullying technique we're going to talk about in a minute too. So. PACE loan and real estate tax disclosure.
Oh, yes.
I just saw this coming up. I want to keep it out there because a PACE loan is a non-ad valorem tax. So how should we disclose that in the MLS? I don't care. Just disclose it. Put the property tax in if the property tax is, and put a note in realtor remarks that there's a PACE loan on this property that will be satisfied at closing, right? PACE loan or the energy efficiency loan, you get new roofs and windows and stuff put into your house. And then you can borrow the money from the state and pay it back through your taxes.
And it's really important to ask the seller if they have done improvements and used that, Craig, because it doesn't always appear in non-ad valorem. It lags. It's not an automatic. So you need to ask those questions. Like, especially if the seller goes, oh, I put in new windows or a roof. They're two big items that can be covered under PACE.
Right. Good point. Oh, I closed that. Oh, no, it's my Word file. I'm sorry. So I went to a broker summit for GTAR on Wednesday, and I took some screenshot notes that I wanted to share with you. And it starts like this. Stellar has 74,000 subscribers, 77,000 subscribers,
Wow.
60,000 agents, 10,000 brokers, and 3,200 assistants. I just thought that was a lot. And in Stellar's the third largest MLS in Florida. I'm sorry, so largest MLS in Florida and the third largest in the nation. It's interesting. So NAR's got some new stuff coming out. It is not considered ethical for you to describe your services as free. You cannot offer free services to buyers or free. There's a big one. They're going to start cracking down on it. So this is just kind of dumb stuff, but it was relevant. MLSs may not allow listings to be filtered by compensation offer, levels of service, or brokerage. So you can't sort by, I'm only going to show you listings that are paying 3%. You can't sort by that to the public anymore. MLSs must offer a single data feed to the participants in accordance with their use. Not a big deal. Stellar does this already. IDX displays attributing the listing brokerage must also include contact information displayed at least as prominently as other contact information on the site. That is a direct pop at Zillow, because Zillow does not show the listing agent, or they do as a courtesy of Century 21 Beggins, but there's no way to contact them. Now they have to make our contact information at least as big as theirs. That's a big one. MLSs must include offers of compensation on consumer-facing websites and in data feeds, which disclosures that offer is only valid to participants and subscribers to the MLS. So now they're going to must include offers of compensation on consumer-facing websites. I don't really know what that's going to mean yet, but I think it means Zillow's going to say, you know, we're paying $1 on this one or $5 on this one. But those are big changes coming up. This is just stats I thought were kind of cool. Listings are actually up 5% August over September. New listings were up a little bit. That's a good sign. We need more listings. Pending sales were down 7%, not huge, but not as high as they were. And listing solds are up. So we can see that one later. Troll letters. This is annoying. Copyright lawsuits. So there's a bunch of lawyers out there that have got software that's running the internet looking for breach of photograph laws. So you're not allowed to post photographs that you don't have permission to post, right? So if you're using stock photo that you grabbed off Google, if you don't have a copyright use for that, you're getting a demand letter to pay $710 for that photo. And if not, they're going to sue you, and then you got to pay their legal fees. So a lot of people are getting these letters now because they're putting photos of neighborhoods that are not theirs and they're not properly copyrighted. So be very careful where you pull your photos from, and Puma will talk more about that later.
Get in the car and go take a picture.
That's right. Use your own camera. Frex stopped auditing. Yeah, then it's yours. Frex stopped auditing real estate companies during COVID. They're starting to audit again. That was just a note for me. If you have your own website, make sure your website designer is making it allowable by the American Disabilities Act and the Fair Housing Act. They have to be compliant for handicapped people to access. So your web designer should have that done. And then they did a big thing on realtor safety. Beverly Carter was a realtor who was killed, murdered, and kidnapped. And so her son did he travels the country doing talks about that now. And one of the safety ideas they had, which is one idea for you this week, was this. Well, first of all, there's a whole bunch of ideas they've got for you. And then I picked this one for today. Your client profile form should have, dun, 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 a photocopy of the driver's license or other photo IDs attached to the form. We have talked about this. That's the handshake, not the handshake, the buyer lifestyle profile agreement has a spot for a driver's license. And this guy was going on and on that if somebody's going to kidnap you, they're probably not going to give you a copy of their driver's license, right? So it's okay to ask for that. So that was my safety tip for this week. When you're meeting people, especially with the Zillow guys, you're meeting these people at strange places, ask them to send you a copy of their driver's license. And you can send them a copy of yours to be more fair. And if they don't want to do it, don't meet them. It's not worth it. There's too many cases of realtors being abducted or hurt. So just be smart with your time. Oh, I'm freezing in my office here. Photo ID on client profile. There you go. Oh, it's a warning. So Deborah Haley was let go from Century 21 Blue, and now she's working at Remax, the one that's been targeting us. So don't be surprised if she reaches out with a passion, trying to get you to switch to the dark side. We talked about home warranties. What is fear mongering? And I wrote this down. I can't believe I need to bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up. We had an agent write letters and send them by certified mail to residents of Longboat Key, telling them that there's meteorites that are going to render their property useless or down to zero value and the end of this year or next year. And they should call her because she's a licensed real estate agent with Century 21, and we're the best office ever. That's called like redlining, steering. It's just a sign of batshit craziness. You know, you can have your conspiracy theories, but don't put them out in the public and attach our name to them, right? So just remember the things you say are important, and it's kind of goofy to even have to bring something like that up. But this person was just a highly intelligent person, and just, I don't get it. Puma, stay tuned for Google My Business. I know you're working on a lot of that. You'll share with us at some point. In case you missed it, just Angelique puts a nice little class out, email out every Monday or Friday about all the classes we did that previous week. So they're there for you. The Brilliant Basics. Last week, I played number 9 instead of number 8. So this week I'll play number 8, which will be here. Which will be here. Brr. Sorry, it takes you so long there. Okay, it's I'm a negotiator. It's this one.
The Brilliant Basics, 10 standards of client service that when practiced, help you defy mediocrity and deliver extraordinary experiences.
Brilliant Basics number 8, I'm a negotiator. I acquire and constantly sharpen superior negotiation and valuation skills. I work relentlessly for my clients' objectives and understand what the other side wants to get the best terms for my client. I strive to negotiate in unexpected ways because a letter from the family or a bit of humor can go a long way in securing the best terms. I shadow experienced mentors to learn best practices.
I think for agents to be able to sharpen their negotiation skills, they should have an accountability partner, somebody that is there to guide you and help you become comfortable with overcoming objections and just becoming very well versed and confident.
The best tip I can give anyone to sharpen their negotiation skills is to make sure that they don't focus on the little parts of the negotiation. It's a big picture. There's a lot of moving parts in the negotiation deal. Don't be penny wise and pound foolish.
Cool, right? So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about getting your flood insurance notice done up front and find out what the costs are going to be. That's all part of negotiating, right? It's going to come out at some point. So if we can address it up front, we'll be better off. So those are the things that I just think are important. So get the deck page from their hazard insurance, get the deck page from the flood insurance, show what the costs are going to be, or at least get a quote. Try that new guy out, see if you can make that work. Oh, I'm not sharing anymore, am I?
No.
Oh, wait, here we go. Okay. Insurance changes are imminent. We already talked about that. Welcome new agents. I'll jump over there. Oh, the US grand reopening is supposed to happen November 8th. And in honor of that, on Friday, I've got this is pretty cool. I think I already opened it. Chantel with White Sands Tax Solutions is going to talk to us about FERPTA. Who we are, is FERPTA forever? What is FERPTA? What are personal use affidavits? Am I foreign? What's a withholding certificate? How do I verify my identity? How do I apply for a US taxpayer identification number? So Chantel was passed along to us from a firm in Sarasota as just being an expert in this area, and that's her. So she's going to be, I guess, on Friday to cover FERPTA. So if you don't know about FERPTA, can't understand it, I think you really should tune in, because I think we're going to see a lot of foreign purchasers looking to buy in Florida as a result of COVID and other countries. So that should be a well-attended class. And welcome new agents. It's back in my sales menu folder inbox. I think I only got 2 this morning. What I wanted. Oh, I did share. I said I'd share this anyway. Century 21 is doing a coaching class now on listings, and Greg Harrelson is teaching it. Some of you obviously are taking some Century 21 University classes because the instructor was calling you out on classes. So if you're interested, that is out there. You've got your emails. You can see what they say. Welcoming Anya Oakley to the Sarasota team. Kathleen, tell us about Anya.
Anya is amazing. She's got an interior decorating background. She is part of a fantastic husband and wife team, and we are so excited to have her here.
All right. Welcome to the team, Anya. There's the in case you missed it email from Angelique, where she says what happened. So prospecting for listings, what buyers should know before anything. Let's talk appraisals. That Chris did that on Wednesday. Moxie Present. Jimmy did a great job on that. So watch that if you need. And then real life real estate and the code of ethics was me and Kat last Friday. And then this week is what's coming up. Just fun to share. Pinellas County team. Mike found the flood insurance information for Pinellas County. He sent it out. I sent it to you. Kat, if you're able to find Sarasota or Manatee, help me do that too. Because we now got the flood maps for Hillsborough, the flood maps for Pinellas. But I still think you need to get deck pages or quotes from insurance companies rather than making statements as to what is what. So that's out there. And then I read that one already. So that's all I got on that section. And okay. And then here we go, birthdays. Happy birthday yesterday to Aurora Kane, Diane Taylor, and Catherine Pyle. All 3 of you had a birthday yesterday. Tomorrow to John Lauder, Maria's husband. The 4th, which will be Thursday, Araceli on the front desk staff, and LaShunda Magnum. I haven't seen LaShunda in a long time. On the 6th, which will be Friday, Sarah McIntyre. And 7th is Helen Williams with Sarah Shineberry on the 7th. And Scott Robinson on the 8th, along with Vanessa Alabady. There's a good one. And I get a kick out of the anniversaries because it was, well, let's say 1 year ago this month, where Greg Trout joined us, along with Jordan Shoddy, Luisa Ruiz, who's Brenda's daughter, Imani Bailey, all 1 year anniversaries this month. 2 year anniversary for Brian Kerfus, Jennifer Jordan. 3 years for Kalani Heyman. Wow. Mike Puma, 4 years ago. Come a long way. Nicholas Newberry, 6 years. That's 5 years. 6 years for David Brendel. 8 years for Matt Gauster. 9 years for Kim Hodgkins and Evis Farmer. 2005. Wow, can't even do the math on that one. 16 years for Joe Aletto. Brian D be 17 years and Jackie Stone 17 years. Wow, happy anniversary, guys. I love it. Let's see what happened with leads. Century 21 fell down a little bit, still our biggest lead source, 54 from Century 21, 31 from Relo, 21 from Op City. Pretty consistent along those numbers. Walk-ins 12 to 13, 13 to 12. Sign calls are up 39. Zillow Flex Team staying around the same. Social Ad Engine, Puma ran 38 ads on that, so that puts the overall lead count up to 222, which is about the same as last week if you don't count the social ad engine stuff. So things are just rocking and rolling. Do we have anything else for the greater good? Looks like Chris and Jim are having a party in the background there.
We're having this is a great day. Yeah, Century 21.
We're trying to navigate through our internet issues.
Oh yeah, it's so much fun.
The whole office is down with internet. Just so if you come to Apollo Beach right now, we still don't have internet. It was out yesterday and it's out now. We don't have any anticipation of when it'll be back up. We'll send out notifications. So
are you doing this from your cell phone?
No, I hotspotted to my laptop.
Ah,
That seems to work.
where there's a will, there's a way.
And we're gonna
Yes.
figure it out.
That hotspot is handy.
Oh, it definitely is.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, that's all I got, guys. Anything for the greater good today? Happy Tuesday. Happy November.